Here are Xtech brakes, HB-100, used on tons of different scooters out there. I want to show you how to change the brake pads. This is on our KOMOTO M1100. We remove the top screw, bottom screw. There's two spacers in the bottom screw. Make sure you don't lose those. So we remove the pad. There's a few steps you have to do. We're going to loosen the brake cable here. So that's the first step. You don't have to take this end off. We're not going to. We're going to show you here. Here are the pads. So there's a cotter pin or a pin that's holding this in. So you need a needle nose pliers. And what you're going to have to do is take this and bend it flat. It can be tricky, especially on these brakes with this. So it can, grab with the needle nose and try to straighten this out. All right. So once you do that, the pin will fall out like so. All right, the pads come out from the top. So these get removed. These come out. There's a little piece of metal in between the pads. You may have to transfer the piece of metal over to the new pads. Sometimes you don't have to because they give you a new piece of metal in the new pads, but they're not always stretched the same because sometimes it can be goofy. There's one direction. There's the hole here, whole side here on the pads. That's how these go in through the top. So, like so. Then you push them down flat. I like to reuse the original pin. It comes with a new pin, but sometimes the new pin can be too long and makes it difficult to fit in there. So I like to use the original pin a lot of times. That's just my preference. Everybody has their own thing like they like to do. So I do that, take this, bend it so it can't pop out because that's what's gonna hold your brake pads in every time you brake. So you see how I bent that and this can't come through now? You don't want it to come through because that's gonna hold the brakes. Then you just put it back on here, squeeze the brake caliper a couple times to kind of get it centered with the pads, reattach it back up, realign the brake caliper in there by adjusting two screws side to side, and you're good to go. But that's how you change your brake pads. Like I said, there's a few things too when it comes to the metal piece, where if the metal piece here isn't expanding wide enough on the new one, you might have to use the original. You might want to replace it though, because they wear out over time, and that's kind of gives it the extra spring to make the pads re-expand every time you brake. So that's just a tip and something to look forward to when you are working on it.